these streets. Same shit. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Cause ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody fucking with me. Nobody fucking with me. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Nobody fucking with me. Nobody fucking with me. Nobody fucking with me. Fucking with me. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Nobody fucking with me. Nobody fucking with me. Fucking with me. Fucking with me. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Same shit. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Cause ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, hello, shitheads! I'm so glad you're here. And let me just say, Hannibal and Monty will be with you in just a bit. So, it's really important that you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Also, look out for plunger points. And if you really like them, cast a couple dollars their way, because this shit ain't cheap. I'm just saying. Enjoy, and thank you for being here.
Bridge to Captain Picard.
Go ahead.
We've just received word from the fleet. They've engaged the Borg.
Mr. Data, put Starfleet frequency 1486 on audio.
Aye, sir.
Stan is not a great Eminem song.
No, I did not say Stan is not a great Eminem
Okay,
song.
what did you say?
What happens when a masked producer and a headphone-wearing comic book artist get together to talk music shit, comic book shit, and political shit on the internet? Monty. Hannibal the beat animal.
Hannibal and Monty shit show.
Holy shit!
My name gets to be in the title this time.
Hannibal and Monty shit show.
Why's my name second? What kind of shit is this?
Hannibal and Monty shit show.
Let's talk some shit.
Get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.
And we are live. Right?
We are live. We should be live.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Hannibal and Monty Shit Show. I am Hannibal, the Beat Animal.
And I am Monty.
And this is episode 43, maybe an episode about...
What did one snowman say to the other snowman?
Or.
It smells like carrots.
There we go. And also, Zoe, I think we have 2 audio sources running. Mute one of them. We're getting echoey. There we go. Just mute one of them. We're both coming through it. Yeah, so there you go. All right, we're good. Welcome back, shitheads. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and if it's still echoey, just throw it out in the chat.
Adam, he said, you all sound like Shredder.
Shredder, yeah.
Look, listen, that's awesome because the Shredder is one of my top 5 favorite villains of all time.
Hell yeah.
Yes. And hang on, I'm going to talk to Zoe real quick. I know it's super professional, but this is the shit show. Scroll down and make sure there aren't any other active...
No, I think it's fixed now. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, people are saying it's fixed.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. I was afraid that would happen.
See, you were afraid that you would fix the problem? Okay,
first Matt,
no. Yeah, I don't want to do it right. Like, what the fuck? Like, why would I do some shit like that?
Fucking up's good entertainment, right?
Yeah. And Hypothesis, thanks for that Streamlabs. I'll read that after we get the intros out of the way.
Yeah. He said so about Hannibal's audio.
Is that what it said?
Yeah, the American Nightmare. Give him a plunger point for that. That's pretty awesome.
Nice. Yeah. Write that down. And also, I want to say this. I had this in my list of things to get to in the intro. Plunger points are still kind of fucked up because as I don't know if any of you knew, Streamlabs YouTube channel went down, which fucked all that up, and we hadn't caught up from the original fuck up with Streamlabs. So your plunger points will most likely be fucked up for the rest of the week. But I'll get them fixed for next week. I've got the list right here. That's why we write that shit down.
Yeah.
So,
and I am in the process of going through the G-Man episode and the Drunken Peasants episode and making sure that everybody that participated in the chat in those respective episodes gets a quality amount of plunger points. So Monty and we're also giving you guys plunger points for every comment you guys leave in the comment section. Well, I'm sorry, for leaving comments in the comment section after the videos. You also get plunger points for sharing the video, and you get plunger points just for watching it live. So
yeah.
Wow, you guys are very professional with your turds, I've noticed.
I know. And what do you do with those plunger points? Nothing, but become shithead of the year. You'll eventually be able to wager them with each other to be shithead of the year. And Hannibal and I have been talking about it. The plunger points will reset after the Golden Turd Awards, and there will be rewards for people that have over a certain amount. Like, you'll start with a certain amount, and then the bottom tier will start with a certain amount too to incentivize you to participate. So you won't always stay behind with people like Penultima leading. Come on, Penultima, give other people a chance.
Moot Lucrecy said about me going through the G-Man episode to see who all participated in the chat. He said that is some G search.
That's some serious.
I'm reluctantly going to give you plunger points for that because it's very clever, even though it annoys me that you guys keep doing the G puns. Can we just let the G puns go? No more G search. No more.
People are just gonna do it even more now that you've said that, man. Haven't you learned yet, Hannibal? Haven't you fucking learned? The more that you say that I don't want something, the more the fucking fans are gonna be like, yeah, let's fucking subject Hannibal to all this bullshit. Yeah, G-search, guys, come on.
Well, okay. Well, I'd be very annoyed if all you guys gave me $1 million. I'd be super annoyed by that. Let's test out your theory, Animancer. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
And for you, those of y'all that don't know, before I get into where you can find us and all that good shit, our guest right now is Animancer Swegta. He'll pop in soon, I hope, or at some point during the show. Swegta, you're welcome to join. Skype's open. You're already added to the call. There's our other stream that just came in, and let's see if I'll read these right now. I need to pull this closer because says, have a G Labs from your boy G Marcus. Hey, Hannibal. That's probably my favorite segment of the DP episode. And speaking of Hey Hannibal, I did get, I I can't believe that thing got legs. Y'all actually, some of y'all sent in Hey Hannibals.
Yeah.
And we will play those only to shout out DP. It was a joke, but whenever we get Hey Hannibals, we'll play them, but as a DP shout out. Thanks for being on the show, guys. That was awesome.
Crazy. See, now I really want to see the Hey Hannibals. I really want to.
But you got to wait for them. I'll let you know when we get to the up next section when we'll play those. When we'll play those Hey Hannibals. And Hypothesis said, Nintendo streaming an E3 direct. I can. This is crunching up the words. Direct tomorrow. Spoiler alert. The new Pokemon game will be Hannibal Vision and Monty Vision. All right, I'm down. Yeah,
this is Nintendo showing at E3.
Yeah.
Direct tomorrow. Spoiler alert. This Pokemon. So I've never been to E3, but I've been to one of the other gaming one of those e-conventions before, and it was the year they debuted the Nintendo 64, and I had so much fucking fun at that shit. I was just like, oh my God, I have to go to one of these as an adult man. I have to go as an adult. This shit was like, because as a child, that shit was so fun. Like playing, like getting to play Mario 64 and like Mario Kart and there was like 3 or 4 other games. I remember they had the Star Fox game, and getting the chance to play those games like 6 months to a year before the system came out. Oh my God, that shit was life. That shit was the best. That was better than finding my uncle's porn stash. Well, no, it was.
Damn.
No, it was comparable. It was comparable.
All right. I'll accept that. Better is a stretch, but
it was a good thing. Listen, my uncle had a good stash. All right, just
all right.
So,
well, I got that, and I got Streamlabs pulled up on the laptop in front of me. I will read that in a second, so I can read it better. It's crunched up on this shared screen that I was looking at. But also, support the show with Streamlabs. We appreciate it. It's awesome. Thank you so much. And I'll read that third one that came in after. Also, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/5H1T. And for all of you that are already on Patreon, I'm sorry I've been MIA the past couple weeks. I've been digging under the hood of the show, fixing some shit. So I should be back next week, like right before I head out to France, and I'll be in there a lot while I'm in France. You'll get some international shit show shit while I'm out there. So go, if you want to see this shit continue to grow, join us on Patreon and streamlabs.com/Hannibal and Monty Show to donate to the show. Facebook.com/Hannibal and Monty. Instagram, 5H1T Show. Snapchat, show_5H1T. Twitter is 5H1T Show, and the Discord link is in the description. And also, check out our Amazon wish list. And speaking of Amazon wish list, which goes to P.O. Box 13013, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70185. All that's in the description. Wellington Smith, one of our favorite shitheads, sent us something from our Amazon wish list. So it's just this USB HD capture card. So this is for Hannibal's end. This will be sent out to Hannibal with the bag of Hannibal shit. So Hannibal's camera will improve soon.
Yes. So next time we're on Drunken Peasants, it won't be like, it won't look like I have like a vintage, like a vintage filter on my screen anymore. It'll be like a regular fucking screen like everybody else's shit.
Yeah. So thank you for that, Wellington Smith. And you know what? Right on your list, give Wellington Smith 25 extra plunger points for that, because that is going to be a very visible change in the show. Thank you for that. So that's all of that out of the way. Why don't we quickly go over what's up next? Yes. So, and this will be a really quick, really short list. Wednesday, 2 days from today, we'll be doing another show with Pimp Monk, and we're struggling on the title of that episode. I think it's going to be called A Pimp Named Slickback, but
okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You'll see when it pops up. I'll put it up tomorrow. So get ready for that. That'll be fun. It'll just be us talking random shit. And also, I need to say, this episode was supposed to be our scammer episode, but we did not have the time to dedicate to doing the proper amount of research for it. So that will come soon. Yeah. Sorry you got scammed with a regular fun episode, but this shit's going to be fun.
We got scammed.
The scam was that we're not doing the scam episode. No, yeah, Monty and I talked about it. We talked about it the last couple days, and every time we talk, we would get a bigger and more dynamic idea about how to do the scammer episode. And every time we would talk about it, we'd be like, damn, we should do this. Oh, we should do this. Oh, we should do this too. Fuck it, we should do all of it. And it's like, but we don't have the time, like in a few days' notice, to execute every single one of the ideas we had for that episode. So we're going to push that episode back, like, a couple, so we can take the time to do it the right way. But like, one of the things, can I tell them one of the ideas we're thinking about, Monty?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so go for it.
One of the things that we want to do is call a scammer on the phone, like live on the show. And while we're on the show, we'll have you guys tell us things you want us to say to the scammers, and we have to try to incorporate that stuff into the conversation.
Yeah. So
G-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, mention G-Man. Like, I was talking to my friend G-Man, and he said that.
Oh yeah.
and that's one of the things that we're thinking about doing for the scam episode. And we wanted to make sure, because we were doing research and we were pulling all this stuff. We were trying to figure out the best way how to make that episode interesting. But we don't just want it to be interesting. We also like the idea of it being interactive. So. Yeah. So that was why we kind of decided to push it back, so we could really give you guys a quality episode. Nothing shitty, We wanted to give you something great. So
I think before we actually put that episode up on our list of episodes coming, we will have it all laid out already, so that next time we say we're doing the scammer episode, it'll actually happen. This is the second time we've tried it. Yeah,
it won't be a scam this time.
It's the second time we've tried it, and then. And the other thing is, we'll be doing. We don't have dates on a lot of it, so I'm going to leave a lot of it off the list until we finalize it. But the torture episode is coming at the end of the month. I will be in France for the torture episode, so I won't be able to really interact a bunch, but we will still do it. And we're just going to do one big shit we don't care about, where me and Hannibal have to care about the shit. And all your Streamlabs donations are going to a goal of me having to draw something based on one of those stories. Y'all will get to pick from that episode.
Yeah. And we're gonna. I'm not looking forward to this month's torture episode in any capacity.
Good. I'd be sad if you were looking forward to the torture episode.
Yeah. Everyone is like, they just, because look, y'all don't understand. There's a lot of research that goes into making those episodes what they are, and like the Tyler Perry episode, the Transformer episode, the fucking Nickelback Insane Clown Posse. Oh my God.
You really need to look into your soul and think about what really fucking pisses you off, right?
Yeah. See, the best thing about doing the torture episodes is when they're over, I'm like, oh, thank God it's over with. But then
when it ends,
in 30 days, you just know you got to do it all. It's like a period. It's basically like PMS. It's like, damn, I have to do this again in 30 days. This is trash. I don't want to do this at all.
Are you saying if we skip a torture episode, does that mean the shit show is pregnant?
Oh my God. Yo, shit, baby. Need some fucking laxatives.
Either that or that just means that the show's been working out too hard, or is just kind of stressed out that month. You know what I'm saying? There's lots of different reasons that we could, potentially miss that cycle.
And Spec, a lot of G-Search goes into it. Yes. Take your plunger point for that.
Oh my God.
Hypothesis said that we should when we call scammers, we should ask them if they've accepted Harambe as their Lord and Savior. Take your plunger point for that too.
Yes, that was a good one. Because I think there was a couple really good suggestions in there too.
Yeah, save them for the episode. Send them to us live, like stump us with them.
Yeah. Want to make it as difficult as possible, and then see, because what I'd like to do is set it up for Monty to make a call and I make a call, and we see which of us can incorporate more of the things you guys ask us to in the conversation.
Yeah.
Before that person just hangs up. See, I feel like if you get a girl on the phone and you start asking about, like, as I'm responding to American Nightmare, he says, start asking them about their sexuality and gender. If you start, and it's a female, But then here's the thing: she's a scammer. So can she be offended? Well, I mean, I guess technically those two things don't have to be related. Like just because you're in jail for larceny does not mean that you can't also be a victim of rape. You know what I'm saying? Those two things don't have to be.
Yeah.
Like it's like if somebody that commits a hate crime gets raped in jail, I don't know if that's the system balancing itself out or if I should feel bad because a crime happened to him that didn't. I don't know. You have to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. But now that we got all that out of the way, let's get into this fucking show. And to start the show, I got 2 questions for you, Hannibal, and I'll start with here's the first one.
What's up, nigga? You want to talk some shit?
I never not get tired of that. And what's the second question, Monty?
I'm gonna get to the second question in a second. I want to before I get to it, I want to, I got my other 2 the 2 newest segments to the shit show. Like, since it's a new week, let's show off the weekly amazing.
Amazing. Racism has never existed. Amazing. Amazing. A dirty woman. Amazing. From Kathy says, from Facebook. Kathy says, he's right. My husband would never bring a stroller. I can't even imagine a man saying, oh, my child and I going out for a walk or whatever. What? Oh, where's the stroller, honey? I bet your wife will want to throw up unless she's happy to see you be a beta male. Amazing! Amazing!
There you go. That was one random bit of what the fuck are you talking about from Jesse Lee Peterson this week.
I feel like someone just cracked open my brain and fried it, dude.
Oh, I know.
Dude, is that what it's like to be Jesse Lee Peterson?
Maybe
I assume so.
Like I said, the thing with Jesse Lee Peterson, and I always think this about Candace Owens and fucking Kevin Jackson and Sheriff David Lee Clark and Stacey Trash. I always wonder. I was like, even with Kanye, I'm like, well, not with Kanye. Kanye, I'm putting him in a different category. But I always wonder. I'm like, are you doing this for real because you believe it, or are you just bullshitting because they pay well? You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing: I don't care either way. I'm just curious. So I'm and with what I'm saying, with like Jesse Lee Peterson, I've always wondered because he seems so genuine that he believes the shit that he does. And I'm like, unless he just realized that he's making money, so I'm not entirely sure. Let us in the chat, you guys let me know. Do you think Jesse Lee Peterson is trolling, you know what I'm saying? Or does he genuinely believe the bullshit that he says? I'm very curious. Like, is he for real or is he full of shit? Is he just doing this for a check? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious.
I think he's a ventriloquist dummy that people with actual opinions use to get out their ideas so that they don't seem so offensive and are more digestible to an audience that they want to appeal to.
Yeah, because it's a black man saying it.
I mean, I wasn't going to say that, but you guys can say it, so.
Yeah. that's hilarious.
This is gonna be great. Tish actually thinks that he's a white man in blackface.
Oh my God.
She's convinced of it.
Yeah.
She's convinced of it. Like, she looks at him like, I can almost see it. Like, maybe.
Yeah, I'm like, American Nightmare says, I think he's the living embodiment of Uncle Ruckus. I think Aaron Magruder based the Uncle Ruckus character on Jesse Lee Peterson.
Possibly.
And Spec, I'm going to give you a plunger point for it, even though you don't deserve it. He said Jesse G. Peterson.
No, that doesn't deserve a point.
Yeah, that deserves a point.
And I'm gonna give Mike one because Mike responded, no, he's pretty G-tarded. So I'm gonna give you I'm giving you the point because it's clever. Because it's clever.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Stop with the G puns. The G-Man episode is over, all right? And then look, if G-Man is watching our videos, all he's going to see is everybody making these G puns all the time, and then he's just going, one of these days, G-Man is going to make an episode about Hannibal and Monty, and we're going to have to talk about it.
He's too busy talking about the Black Hebrew Israelites. He doesn't have anything else he cares about these days, it seems like.
It's such a... It's like it would be like getting mad at like Szechuan sauce. You know, no, not Szechuan sauce, like Polynesian sauce at Chick-fil-A. Like it's just such a specific thing to be agitated by.
I know, right? Like such a small percentage of the population. Like why are you so obsessed with trying to refute these morons?
Yeah, it's such a weird. I don't know. Like it would be like if somebody wanted to go on a rant about all of the masked producers in hip hop. It's like 4 of us. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, fuck is you mad about, bro? It's like this isn't like a thing that you have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not easy making beats in a man. Well, you get used to it, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
you've done it for long enough. And let's go on to the next one. This one's brand new. Like it's a little rough around the edges, but I'm still polishing this. Like E Green likes to call up with random shit. So I told E Green, just start leaving us voicemails. And we got this new segment, called Street Shit, where E Green's gonna, let us know what's going on the streets now. If y'all wanted to know, here you go. Let's
I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets.
Yo, you hear me? This is E Green, a.k.a. Sam Rothstein, Lacoste King. You gotta sit down and understand me, you underdig that. Reporting live at 1017 in Green, America to give you the daily street report. Now, just so you know, the East Side Bloods out of Compton, California are currently beefing with the bounty hunter killers in West Compton due to territorial control. Damu allegedly violated a high-ranking Piru, and that's causing friction. And we all know that the Damus and the Pirus can't be causing friction because there's a level of seniority that everybody needs to respect. You know
Say what now?
The Hoover Crips in the rolling 60s comes to a 30-year truth with the untimely passing of Nipsey Hussle, who was untouchable by street standards, even though he did get touched. You know what I'm saying? In case you don't know anything about Nipsey Hussle, he's the godfather of the Crips, and he's also better than you. So just, he was better than you. So just think about it. Another thing we jumping into, fashion news real quick. Women are wearing sundresses with the wrong shape. So in actuality, they are blocking out the sun rather than letting the sun expose to you. Nothing wrong with you being comfortable in your own skin. But when it compromises everybody's comfortability, then it's time for you to consider another wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, at first I thought this guy was crazy, but then I heard that and I was like, holy shit.
And you look like a tire.
He's the real deal.
Yeah, he is. It's not sexy. You know what I'm saying? Gyms open all summer. There's no excuses for that. And they got 24/7. One more thing. Man bags. Say, bruh, if you a dude, don't wear a bag. There's no need for you to have that much shit on you. You should not have a purse, a satchel, a man bag, none of that shit. A book bag would suffice. But a fanny pack, you shouldn't wear a fanny pack because you don't have a fanny. All right? You're a motherfucking man. This is E Green checking out on your street report. I'll talk to y'all next week. You hear me?
Thank you, E Green.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Hey, it's sundress season, and some of y'all got the wrong shape. Y'all actually blocking the sun out. Y'all not letting the sun in.
I feel enlightened now, honestly.
E Green, you should sit and listen to E Green every now and then. We got to have him back on the show. Actually, E Green is one of our favorite guests on the show. So,
that is hilarious. See, Monty be working on shit that I don't be knowing about. So it's just like he told me we had been talking about it, and E Green was like, "Hey man, you ought to let me do a segment where I do this," and I was like, "Yeah, all right, cool, let's make it happen." I ain't realized it had happened. That is fantastic. That is amazing. Amazing.
It's unfiltered. Like the opinions of E Greens are the opinions of E Greens. May not necessarily reflect the opinions of Hannibal and Monty. He might get on and start talking about some flat Earth shit.
This is true.
I will just take the voicemail and put it between those two sound bites and play it.
All right. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
So, moving right along, I'll go on to the second question, which is what's eating Hannibal?
I don't want nobody fucking with me.
Often imitated but never duplicated.
Yeah, that's it. OG, original gangster, original gangster, original gangster.
travelers who cannot make up their mind while ordering food.
They shit on LA. They shit on Chicago. They shit on Miami. They shit on New Jersey.
New Yorkers, Atlanta Falcon fans, possibly people from Alaska.
They hate Canadians. They hate the South. They hate the rain. They hate the snow. They hate murder. They hate crime. They hate fucking everything. They hate the Knicks when they're winning. They hate the Knicks when they're losing.
Indecisive morons. Blithering idiots. Humans. These people have formed a burning question. What is grinding Hannibal's gears?
Yes. All right. What is eating Hannibal this week? Well, this week, because we were supposed to do the scam episode, oh, that's crazy. Adam E says for some reason he can't see Spec in the chat. I can see Spec in the chat. He literally just commented right above you.
Yeah. Oh, switch from live chat to from top chat to live chat. Try that.
You already beat me to it. I was literally about to suggest the same thing. All right. So this episode was supposed to be a scam episode where Monty and I talked about different scams that exist on the internet. And on the internet, phone scams, stuff like that. And I was telling Monty about this story about when I first moved to Atlanta. And I want to still tell you that story because it's a scam. I mean, it's related to the scam, and I always have scam stories to talk about. So even when we do the scam episode, I'll have some more shit to talk about. But when I first got to Atlanta, so all right, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, and after Hurricane Katrina, I decided to move to Atlanta, Georgia. Now, it wasn't just like so the backstory is like a month before Hurricane Katrina, right? Like a month before it happened, there was a record label that called me and my production team and said, "Hey guys, we want you to work for our label. We want you guys to audition for our record label." So we was like, okay, cool. So we came down to Atlanta. They put us in a hotel. They were driving us around in a stretch Hummer. They took everybody to Dave & Buster's, paid for all the food and all of this stuff. We got a chance to talk with all of these different artists from all over the world. Like they had artists from LA, New York, Chicago, Miami. There was a guy they flew in from London. I was like, shit, they flying niggas in from London? Must be official. And everything looked very official, right? So at the end of it, when the dust settled and the smoke cleared, they offered us a job as their in-house production team. And the money we were talking about at the time didn't equal up to what Ace Wonder and myself were making in New Orleans prior to Katrina. So we told them we would think about it. In actuality, we were just like, no, we're not going to do this shit. So we came back to New Orleans. Hurricane Katrina happens, right? Boom. We don't got nowhere to stay. We lost everything. Ace Wonder is staying in a shelter, bouncing from place to place. I'm living with family members all over the country and shit. And I was like, all right, we got to figure something out, And the record label in Atlanta was like, hey, if you guys come to Atlanta, not only will you work for us, but we'll also give you a place to stay, rent-free, utility-free. Sold. That was it. They sold us. It was like, cool, set it up. So they got us our plane tickets, flew us out from, we were in Houston at the time, and we came out to Atlanta. Now, because I don't want to give any notoriety to the label or to the CEO of the label, who this is about, I'm not going to say the name of the label or the name of the CEO of the label. What I will tell you, though, is the CEO of this record label was one of the creators of one of the big dating sites that currently exists. Okay? So one of the guys who created one of the very big dating apps and dating sites that exist right now today, he was one of the creators of it. He decided that he wanted to get into the entertainment business. And for the sake of this conversation, for the sake of this What's Eating Hannibal, his name will be MC Jimmerly. Okay, and Ace Wonder's gonna hear that shit and fucking laugh his ass off, right? So MC Jimmerly, So we get to Atlanta, we're working for this record label, and they got us this place to stay, and we're doing this work every week. They're flying these different artists out and everything, and it all seems real good. There's all of these people that work for them. There's photographers. There's people that just do press and social media marketing, and there's all these different people working there and stuff, and they're all really young. Like, they even had an intern from Tallahassee live with us in the apartment that they had us in. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but the reason they had that intern there was so he could keep an eye on me and Ace One, just to make sure we wasn't gonna fuck this shit up, right? And then I would see these people come and go. Like, every time we would have a company meeting, you would see different people like, oh, what happened to this person? What happened to that person? They would just be gone. Nobody would talk about it. Nobody either knew anything, and nobody was talking about it. And when you're working somewhere and you see people constantly coming and going, constantly coming and going, you start to wonder, like, what's going on? So eventually I got a chance to talk to somebody who was willing to explain it to us. So the way this record label was set up, hold on, my headphones came out. The way this fucking record label was set up was they would hire these interns, and they would be like, hey, you work for us for 90 days for free. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to have you do all this work, and we're going to assess the work that you do. And at the end of that 90 days, we're going to give you a review based on all the work that you did. And if we like the work that you did, then we'll pay you this salary. That is north of $80,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? But if we don't like it, or we feel like if we don't like it, we'll dismiss you. If we feel like you need more work, then we'll extend it for another 3 months, and then we'll reassess you 90 days after that. So what was happening was all of these kids were like fresh out of college with their marketing degrees and their business degrees and their computer programming degrees and their photography, photojournalism degrees. And all of these people were coming there to work for this label thinking that it was going to be some fresh new shit. But everybody signed a non-disclosure agreement where they could not talk about the inner workings of the company, even to one another, you know, under the penalty of being sued for an ostentatious number. Like, and it was something ridiculous, like $100,000. And this guy who created this super famous dating site totally had the money to sue you into oblivion. So what he was doing was he would get these kids to work for him for 90 days. And then after 90 days, he would tell them that they were doing an okay job, but they needed improvement, so he could keep them working even longer. And then if at a certain point they got hip to what was going on and was like, fuck it, I'm out. Well, guess what? If you leave, you can't fucking talk about what happened at the label. You can't tell anybody else that you did all this work and never fucking got paid. So that's why they were always these new people and these new faces all the time. Even the person that the intern he had living with us, this son bitch lived with us for like 6 months and then dipped out, and we never found out why. We never talked to him again afterwards. One of the things that we didn't know was that this guy was just not paying anybody anything. He just found a way to get all these people paying all this money. I mean, just to do all this work for him for free, and he never paid anybody anything. And then when we Googled this guy, come to find out there were hundreds of lawsuits against him from hundreds of people that was like, we paid him to do this, and he didn't do the thing he said he was going to do. Or we paid him to do this, and he did. And it was like all these people that was stuck in this litigious limbo because they couldn't figure out how to get their money from this guy who was like, he had promised them this stuff and said he was going to do these things and never followed through on any of this shit. And what's crazy is in the midst of us doing this research, come to find out he didn't actually have anything to do with the creation of the dating site. No, we're not calling it G-Search, okay? He didn't have anything to do with the dating site that made him a multimillionaire. He didn't have anything to do with the site itself. It's like, come to find out, he got somebody a job at this site in the initial phases, and then this other person did the coding for the site. And because he got this person a job, he owned like 50% of anything this dude created while he was at that company.
Wow.
Yeah, and all he did was just like he ended up getting like.
Hang on. Oh my God!
Emily said G Harmony.
No.
I'm not.
Retract that statement right now. I swear to God.
I'm not going to.
Hear that.
I'm not gonna say that was brilliant, Emily. I give credit where credit. I give credit where credit's due. That was pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, this guy basically had like in one, and you guys don't understand like the size of this operation. At one point, there might have been 100 people that were working for him. You know what I'm saying? And they would do everything. He had construction people working. He had engineers, software developers. He had marketing team. Like it was an entire company where nobody was getting paid. So fast forward to, and then that's the lion's share of what's eating Hannibal is fuck that guy. Fuck MC Jimmerly. Okay? Fuck you, right. You piece of shit human being. You're trash. The epilogue to the story, just so I can tell you how it ended. There was an artist that they had. There were a bunch of artists that they had at the time, and this is just how fucked up it was. There was this one artist that we worked with at the time. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to expose. I don't want people to be able to track who the label was that we worked for. And they were distributed by a major. Like, they were distributed by, like, when I say a major, there are basically, like, 3 major record labels that control all distribution. It's Warner Elektra Atlantic, or WEA, as we tend to call it, Universal BMG, and Sony EMI. Those are the 3 big labels that control everything that comes out. So most labels that come underneath that, like Capitol and Def Jam and any of Geffen, all of the Interscope, all the other labels fall under one of those 3 umbrellas. They're either WEA, Universal BMG, or Sony EMI. So the label that we worked for was distributed from one of those companies. They had an artist that flew from New York, from Rochester, New York. And him and his girlfriend, graduate college. They moved to Atlanta because they were told that, the record label had a place for them to stay and do all of this shit. And then they got there and the record label was like, oh, we don't have nowhere for you guys to stay. You got to get your own place. But get your own place and then we'll reimburse you for it after the first month. So they get their own place. Mind you, they came down here under the guise that they were working for this record label because they had all this paperwork, they signed these contracts, and then the guy gets down here, they don't have a fucking place for him to stay. So now he's got to get a place, and then he's got to try to get a job, and he's doing all of this stuff thinking that his job was going to be to do music full time. You know what I'm saying? And him and his girl were just completely just hung out to dry and just stuck out here in Atlanta, man. This shit was crazy. They had an artist in particular who was their flagship guy, and they ended up paying him, like, I want to say $50,000 to do this project, right? Ace Wonder and myself and Johnny Brasco, we produced this guy's entire project, co-wrote the vast majority of the songs, if not all the songs on the project. And then they gave him $50,000, and we had yet to be paid $1 in the time that we were there, And then, so they paid him this $50,000. They didn't pay us shit. So we're like, okay, until we get $1, this album is not coming out because we own the rights to all this fucking music. So the shit ends up in a giant stalemate, and then they end up losing their distribution with the major label. And the night they lost their distribution with the major label, they came to me and Ace Wonder and told us we had to get out of the house by 9 a.m. the next day. They told us this shit at 2 a.m. They told us at 2 a.m. that we had to be out of the house by 9 a.m. I'm not from Atlanta. I don't fucking know anybody here. You know what I'm saying? This is some bullshit. This is trash. This shit was awful. You know what I'm saying? So the end of the story is the album never gets released. Ace Wonder and myself never got paid for any of the work that we did there. And a lot of the label just ended up kind of just folding. Like after they lost the distribution deal, that was the end of the label. But this guy is still out here. He's still fucking scamming. And every now and then, like maybe once a year, I'll Google MC Jimmerly, the co-creator of one of the big dating sites, and I'll find out that he's still out here scamming somebody else. Now he's got a clothing company. Now he's got a fucking car rental company. Now he's got a fucking dance studio. Now he's got a fucking management agency. Now he's fucking working on creating his own postal service. Now he's trying to create his own MLS soccer. Like, man, fuck this dude. And everybody is like, yo, I paid all this money. I gave him this, and he didn't do none of the shit that he said he was going to do. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Fuck you, MC Jimmerly. Fuck you. That's what's
all right. All right.
Fuck that guy. Fuck MC Jimmerly. All right. And somebody said the chat earlier, and I'm gonna say this right now too. You know what I'm saying? Make sure before you start working at a job, especially if it's something that you're not familiar. Any job you do, just do a minor amount of research into it first. Just do your Googles. Okay. Yeah,
do a little bit of G-search.
I'm not calling you that. I swear, I am not calling it that. Do your research into it first to make sure you're not making a bad decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
This shit was trash. This shit absolutely. And then after doing the research, it's just come to find out this dude's a fucking scumbag. And then here's what's real crazy. Even now in Atlanta, I'll randomly run into people that used to work at that label, and they still won't talk about it because of the non-disclosure agreements they signed, and nobody wants to get sued. I didn't sign shit. I talk about it all the time. And even with me not signing the paperwork, I still don't want to say his name because he's a very litigious dude. You know, I should have told me something off rip when I met him, and it was like, man, you sure got a lot of lawsuits going on right now. Yeah, that means something ain't right. You know, if you meet a bitch and she got 75 ex-boyfriends, something wrong with that bitch. All right. If every time she get with a dude, that dude beat her up. I'm not saying she deserved to get her ass beat, but I'm saying maybe you should stay away from her. All right. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, thanks for What's Eating Hannibal. Before we go to the next one, I'm going to read these Streamlabs before I forget, because I don't want to lose anything in the mix. I think I read this, but I'll read it again just to be sure. This is from Lord G. Marcus. He said, here's a G-Labs from your boy Lord G. Marcus. Hey, Hannibal is probably my favorite segment. Yeah, I did read that. All right. And probably his favorite segment of the DP episode, and those are coming. We will read those when we're on with Pimp Monk, or we'll play those when we're on with Pimp Monk. And yes, Hypothesis, I got yours. So Hypothesis also said, you still got those High Billy vids. By the way, I've been reborn. Call me G-Spot Lingus. All right. Yes.
Oh my God. It continues.
Yes. And it's got money behind it, so we have to say it. Hypothesis also sent another one that says, Black Hebrew Israelite Lives Matter.
You know what? I know it's really been eating Hannibal this week. G-search.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. I thought after we did the episode we would be done with G-Man. That would be it.
No, it's only just begun.
Yeah. G-Man's like YouTube channel herpes. Like it spreads and you can't get rid of it. Yeah. You can't get rid of it. Yeah. So but now that we got those G-Labs out of the way, let's go on to the rest of the show. Let's go to one of my favorite segments, which is Fair or Foul.
Yeah.
Yes. How big are your balls? Okay, Mr. Rashid. Are they ready for the truth?
Yes, they're ready for it.
Just love it.
How do they hurt us? Because they love Phil.
We don't need to give any time to them, Master.
We're talking about deliverance. See, I'm talking, and so many people out there are captives. And I'm talking about homosexual lifestyle. I was delivered from something like that. I was a prostitute for over 30 years. I sold my body on the street corners. See, I can talk about that sin. Hallelujah, because see, I was wrapped up, tied up, tangled up, and I loved it when I was doing it. Hallelujah, God came and purged me. Hallelujah, God made me get it the old-fashioned way. You just turn your soul unto me and I'll use you. But now I can shake for Jesus. Oh, I love the anointing of the Holy Ghost. Bless you.
Suck my cock, bitches.
God bless you.
Has the Imperial Magistrate reached a verdict? I have. Guilty or innocent? Innocent. Feed him to the
I'm leaving you for.
Yes. So this is this week's Fair File. For anybody who's just watching us for the very first time, first off, thank you for joining us. We're glad to have you. Also, you should subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Like Monty and I do a good show. You know what I'm saying? And we're joined by our good friend Animancer. We were just on his show the other day, and now he gets to be on ours. It's fantastic. And Hannibal's wide awake today. I'm not even like super sleepy like I was on that episode. I'm fucking frosty as shit today. So the way Fair or Foul works, every day I do a deep dive on the news. I have a news aggregator site I go to every day where I'll come across dozens of stories. I go to dozens of different websites: CNN, Fox News, Reuters, Infowars, Breitbart, The Blaze, Politico, The Hill, Snopes. I go to all these different sites and I read these stories, and as I read them, I wonder to myself sometimes when I read the stories, did they get it right? Was the outcome right or wrong? Was it accurate or inaccurate? Was it fair or was it foul? So I'm going to read a couple stories for you guys, and you guys let me know, you know what I'm saying, what you think and whether or not you think this story was fair or foul. So this is largely based on audience participation. So everybody, as I read the stories, you guys let me know if you think it's fair or foul, okay? What's the first graphic, Monty?
Here it comes.
And look, I just tell Monty to look up very generic graphics, and I don't tell him what the story's about. So he never knows until we do the show.
Yeah.
What the hell?
This was the Christopher Columbus one.
Brilliant. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Okay, this story, this fair file, comes from the good people at Breitbart.com.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh, man, what a way to begin.
Oh, here we go.
Vermont Republican Governor Phil Scott. Okay, and this is interesting, right? Vermont Republican Governor Phil Scott said he would sign a bill that would abolish Columbus Day and replace it with Indigenous Peoples Day. The bill to dump the traditional holiday passed through the state legislature in Montpelier. Is it Montpelier or Montpelier? How do you pronounce that?
Montpelier.
Yeah. Montpelier. Okay.
No, Montpelier. That's how it is.
Montpelier. Okay. The bill to dump the traditional holiday passed through the state legislature in Montpelier on Wednesday and is now on the governor's desk waiting for a signature. And Governor Scott said, and I quote, "I see no reason that I wouldn't sign it, but we're reviewing the bill as we speak. I know it's controversial from many standpoints from many people, but it's just a day and we'll get through it. And we've been treating it as something different over the last couple of years through resolutions. Without any technical difficulties within the bill, I'll probably sign it." Governor Scott has continued the celebration of so-called oh right, I forgot I was reading Breitbart. I'm sorry. Governor Scott, read it in Breitbart. Governor Scott has continued the celebration of so-called Indigenous Peoples Day since Democrat Peter Shumlin first issued the proclamation observing the day in 2016. Vermont will be the third state to eliminate Columbus Day in favor of Indigenous Peoples Day, and will join New Mexico and South Dakota once signed. Maine has also signed a similar measure, or also has a similar measure sitting on the governor's desk. So the question is, shitheads, is it fair or foul for Governor Scott to change the name of Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day? Let me know in the chat your thoughts. Monty, Animancer, you're our guest. Tell us what you think, sir.
Oh, I don't hear Animancer.
And did we lose him?
Oh, sorry. I'm here. I'm here. I had my fucking mic muted by accident. Sorry. It's the shit show. I'm just being fucking fashionable.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
when in Rome. When in Rome.
But honestly, like, Christopher Columbus is probably one of the biggest fucking pieces of shit to ever exist. I don't see how anyone can defend having a fucking day named after him. The only fucking people who I think are going to complain about this are people who just really hate the idea of an Indigenous Peoples Day. I don't really think there's anyone who's going to make an argument that Christopher Columbus is a great guy. Most people know he's a piece of shit. But fuck it. I still don't think that there should be a day named after him. Change it to whatever the fuck you want to change it to in the States. But just don't have a Christopher Columbus Day if he's an asshole. Why would you celebrate someone who did so many shitty things? It's just spreading misinformation. You should be talking about maybe the actual story of how America was founded.
Yeah. The backstory on Christopher Columbus and how Columbus became the hero that he is celebrated in American culture is actually pretty amazing. Like, apparently, because of the amount of Italian immigrants that were coming to America, they wanted, because there was so many of them in the Northeast that they needed something to hold on to and to latch on to. So somebody took this story of Christopher Columbus and revised it and sort of kind of made it like a fable or a parable, kind of like Aesop's fables or something like that. And then they romanticized this version of the story that was like, it was really like a children's book. But at the time, it wasn't received as a children's book. It was received as like facts. And then it became like this big thing. And then as more Italian people got into power, like if you grow up believing something to be true, and then when you get older, it's like, oh, well, this is the truth. So it was like, all right, we gave them something to celebrate. Politicians jumped in on it. Like, yeah, we should make October 6th Columbus Day so they could get votes. And now it's like this whole thing that people believe, and it's taught in schools. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's a very interesting kind of fucked up thing. Like, it's like when you play that telephone game where like one person tells another person something, and then you get all the way around the room, and then you come back and it's like, I don't know what this was supposed to be in the first place. This shit is crazy.
Yeah. I'm in agreement with both of y'all. So we're all on the same page. Y'all beat me to anything I could have actually added to this. So yeah. And the question was, fair or foul that they want to change it to Indigenous Peoples Day?
Yeah.
Fair. They can change it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Change away.
I am looking at the chat to see what you guys had to say on the matter. Spec says fair. Hypothesis says fair, as long as I still get the day off. I think that's and that's the thing that we really need to talk about is, will I still get Indigenous Peoples Day off? It's like, I know over 4 Native Americans, and I just want to know, do I still get to not come to work that day? That's all I need to know. So that's really where I care. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what else. Bill Hicks called it Losers Day. That's funny.
Let's change it to that instead.
Let's see. The Batman says fair because who gives a shit? Lord G. Marcus says I'd just rather remove the holiday entirely. Mickey Richards says Columbus brought glory and power to Spain. I mean, they were already pretty glorified and powerful at that time. They weren't like Spain was definitely one of the economic superpowers in the world in the 1400s. Like, it wasn't like this wasn't like Spain wasn't like getting their asses kicked by everybody. And it was like, man, we really did make a mark on the world. What can we do? Say, man, you know what? Go find some new land. It was just like, no, they actually gave Columbus the money because they just thought he would die at sea. They were just like, we're tired of this dude. If we give you 3 boats, do you promise to die? And he was like, yeah, sure, maybe. And then he just didn't.
Yeah, here's the thing. So what if he was successful in doing fucking shit for Spain? Don't we live in fucking America? What, are we gonna get like a bunch of fucking days for other colonialists? Like for people who were British and fucking French and all that shit in their empires? Just because they were related to the formation of America? It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. It's just like, people like to nitpick because there are certain people out there who just love their tradition and they can't bear to see anything change. I still think that there should be a holiday because I want people to get their fucking days off.
Yeah,
but fucking change the name if you want to, or don't. It's whatever.
Yeah. Morden is alive says change it to Free Pizza Day. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I like that.
I'm for Indigenous peoples having a day. Like, I like the compromise on that.
Sure.
Like give those people something. Like, I like that. So I'm for that. But let's add Free Pizza Day.
Okay.
Yeah, there should be a free pizza day. That's something we could all get behind. So let's make that.
Here's a compromise. What if we have an Indigenous Peoples Day, but we, instead of it being Columbus Day, we just make it Italian Americans Day? It'll be a day where we celebrate Italian Americans and the heritage and the cool things that they brought to this country. How about that?
I think that's way too reasonable for anyone to get behind.
or I'm still on the on the side of starting a brand new day. What if we do free fried chicken and spicy mayo day so that, you know, everybody can come together?
Yeah.
Black people and white people alike, fried chicken and spicy mayo.
Yeah.
Let's bring them together.
We got a couple people that think that is foul. Like Mistaken Reaper says he thinks it he found it to be foul because that's fucking with history. And you know what? I would love to dive more into that topic with everybody because there's a couple people that think it's more foul that you know that are leaning towards foul. I think where it becomes the issue though is which version. The nickel chat.
Thanks for the nickel chat. Thanks for the nickel chat, Scientist Mel. Drive by high, sending love to my best shit creators. Thanks. We love you too, Mel.
Yeah, Scientist Mel. We love Mel. Matter of fact, we're doing an X-Men episode next week, Mel. We should talk about that. See if you want to get in on that episode. But I think, you know, to respond to Mistaken Reaper, because I think it depends on which version of history you believe to be true. You know what I'm saying? So
I can tell you that what the majority of people are taught in the fucking schools, especially at a young age, is fucking bullshit. So it's not historical revisionism to go back and like. And so what? Just because that you change something doesn't mean that you ignore the fucking past. That's a fucking complete and utter straw man, honestly.
Yeah, and a bunch of different people have ideas on the Columbus issue because I think that, you know, specifically like there's a conservative argument that you know, history is being rewritten. You know, and it's like, look, basically the idea is, look, bad things happen, but there were good things that came from those bad things, and we shouldn't forget about those things. I said, yeah, I totally agree with that. But Columbus did not land in America. Like, the land that we call America is not where he landed. So this is really a question that they should be having in the Bahamas and Brazil and fucking South America, not something that we have here. You know what I'm saying? If anything, we should have Amerigo Vespucci Day, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, and can we also point out the fact that the nigga thought he thought this was India? You know what I'm saying? He was trying to figure out a way how to get to India. So it was like if I live in Miami and I'm trying to get to Canada and I landed in Mexico, I was like, oh, look at these Canadians. Like, shut up.
You know, that's another weird thing too. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, I was told that Native Americans, like, they were Indians. I was told that. Like, that's how it was explained to me. Like, they were called Indians. Like, even when I was going to fucking elementary school, they said Indians. So that was always a really confusing thing to me. I think they finally stopped doing that. I was probably like probably part of like the last generation who actually had that happen, but it's really weird. So yeah, there was a lot of misinformation that people got when they were younger, but they refused to believe it because for whatever reason they're stuck in what they want to believe.
Yeah, but that's just how easy, because we talk about, like, you know, the fake news. We talk about fake news as if that's something that started with our generation. You know what I'm saying? But that's not true. Like, you know, like there's a generation of people that believe that, you know, Ben Franklin, you know, discovered electricity by flying a kite in the rain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's like, and even, you know, like in, you know, to all of my liberal friends, all my libtard friends, you know, like there's that fake news article of Donald Trump in like the 80s saying if he ever ran for president, he'd run as a Republican because Republican voters are stupid. That's not a real story. That's not a thing that happened. And it's real easy. It's amazing to me how fast misinformation can be spread, you know, than fact. Like, it's like, you know, like it's very interesting to me the speed that it travels. The internet might make it faster, but it's not like this is a new thing. As the Mistaken Reaper said, I learned a lot more about it in college history course, and world history is clockwork deep. I didn't get enough and have enough characters to type everything out. I got you, boss. And we could definitely talk about that. Let's get on to the next fair file.
Yeah, let's see what the next fair file is. And that
also,
one was...
Also, shout out to Spec for keeping tabs how many times I say know what I'm saying, because I don't realize how many times I say I know what I'm saying.
Oh, that went up so much during the segment where you were just talking. I think it went up like 10 times.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
yeah.
DJ, I'm about to say, I almost said his name right there. MC generally fucking is just a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? He's garbage. He's just a garbage human being. And look, I don't want to dox anybody, but at the same time, we definitely need to find a way to warn each other about people like this when they happen, so that way we know how to avoid them. Anyway, what's the next story, Monty?
And I'm checking with Zoe right now. All right, that was it. And
also,
all right, go to the next one.
Also, shout out to our lovely producer Zoe. She's kicking ass and taking names. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's summertime. She could be enjoying her summer break, listening to Billie Eilish, playing Kingdom Hearts 3, but no, she's working on the shit show. So everybody, throw a hand clap emoji in the chat for our lovely producer Zoe.
Yes.
All right. I can see the graphic. Okay.
Please clap.
The next fair file comes from Newsweek. Right? Is this where this article comes from? I don't think it was. Yeah, okay, it's Newsweek. So Newsweek, when Avengers Endgame came out, they created a list of all the Avengers movies from best to worst, right?
All right.
And
Captain Marvel's on top, right?
No, it's not. Actually, okay. I think where is Captain Marvel on?
I'm just fucking around.
Let me see.
Yeah.
So
I don't think anyone in their right mind would do that.
So of the 22 movies, right? And just to do this real quick, if you had to make a list of all the MCU movies, right? If you had to think of what movies you thought would be the top 3 and which movies you thought would be the bottom 3, like without having to do like a super lot of deep thought, what would you have at the top and at the bottom? Animancer, Monty, what would you guys think?
I'll let Animancer go first, or I can if you want to think on it a little bit.
You go first. I want to think about mine a little bit.
I don't know exactly which ones. I'd have to really sit and think about it, but I think of the MCU movies.
Well, just think what just like because they have a list, and I think the list, and that's why I want to share with you guys. I want to see what you think of this list because I want to see what you guys think. Is they have on their list, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. What they have on their list is they have, and I feel like the top 5, bottom 5 tell you a lot. They have Avengers Endgame as the number 1 Marvel MCU movie ever created. Endgame is 1. Avengers, the original Avengers in 2012 is 2. Guardians of the Galaxy is 3.
Wait, go back. Go back. Wait.
Okay. Endgame is 1.
Okay.
Shout out to that nickel chat.
Yeah, thank you, Emily the neighbor. Thanks for the nickel chat.
So they got Endgame is the number 1 movie on their list, followed by the 2012 Avengers movie, the first Avengers movie. Then you got Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther is 4, and Infinity War is 5. Okay, that's the top 5. They got Ragnarok at 6, Winter Soldier is 7, Iron Man is 9, Iron Man 3 is 10.
I think I know mine, my top 3.
Yeah, and then they got then after that it goes Spider-Man Homecoming is 11, Ant-Man is 12, Guardians 2 is 13, Avengers Ultron is 14, First Avenger is 15, Captain Marvel is 16, Ant-Man and the Wasp is 17, Doctor Strange is 18, Thor is 19, Iron Man 2 is 20, Thor Dark World is 21, and Incredible Hulk is 22. So
wow.
That's what I was going to ask. Wow. Is this list fair or foul? Everybody in the chat, let us know what you think, fair or foul. So for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed Avengers Endgame. I saw it twice, and both times I was blown away by it. I enjoyed it more the first time, but I think I loved it more. I think I fell in love with it the second time I saw it. It is a fantastic movie. But to say that it is the best of all the Avenger movies, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the bottom of the list, they got Hulk, Thor: Dark World, Iron Man 2, the first Thor, and then they got Doctor Strange at 18. I don't know if I can get behind this. I don't know if I can get behind this list.
Yeah,
like I feel like I don't know if I can get behind this. I'm calling this list foul. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I already said foul.
Yeah, I don't agree with most of it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking at the list, and it's looking like most of you guys are calling. Let's see what we got. Yeah, Fondue says Iron Man and Infinity War are the best. The rest kind of suck ass. Damn, Fondue. First off, I disagree. We're going to talk about that. The rest definitely don't suck. You know what I'm saying? Man. But here's the thing. I don't disagree. I think Iron Man. I think you can make a very comfortable argument with Iron Man and Infinity War being in the top. If you have those in your top 5, I'm not mad at your top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dot Executable says Ant-Man is the best because when he gets small, I don't have to feel so bad about my small penis. See, I started reading it before I read it. That's where I made the mistake. I made a rookie podcast mistake there just now.
Yep.
So I'm gonna learn about that. Let's see. Moot Lucracy says Howard the Duck. It's just period. There's no context. He just said Howard the Duck. Give him plunger because if you didn't know, Howard the Duck is in fact a Marvel property. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what else. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is one of the best. Really super inhuman. That's interesting. He says because Endgame doesn't make sense without all of them. Yeah. Okay. I can see that. See.
Yeah, that's a fair argument.
Yeah, that's a fair argument. Lord Jamarcus says reasonable. Thrift Store Dan says Thor Rag G Rock. Damn you. I'm giving you a point.
No. Yeah.
Hypothesis says Iron Man 3 is top 10. Foul. Ooh, Bill Hicks says Infinity War sucked.
Yeah, Infinity War was not bad. It did not suck.
Wait, no. Wait a minute, Animancer. No, we are not calling it Infinity War.
I'm not talking about that. I think Iron Man 3 is better than most people get credit for, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I wouldn't even put it in the top 10 though.
Yeah, that list is just. I came across that list a while ago, and it's looking like most people are calling it. Lord Jamarcus says it's not a perfect list, but it could be. I lost it. I lost your comment, Lord Jamarcus. Damn it.
Yeah.
Mistaken Reaper says that's fucking foul.
Yeah. And on these fair fouls, all of them, leave comments. We'll discuss in the comments. I won't be as slow on all social media, including Discord. Sorry, everybody in Discord. I've been missing, but we'll discuss in the comments.
Megan in the West says Guardians 2 has Yondu's funeral, and that makes it better than Volume 1. I don't know if that makes it better than Volume 1, but the scene where Yondu is riding, he's got his mega arrow, and he's floating down with it, and then Star-Lord says, "Man, you look like fucking Mary Poppins," and he says, "Is Mary Poppins cool?" And he was like, he looks at him lovingly and realizes that's his father figure. He was like, "Yeah, Mary Poppins is cool." And then Yondu says, "Hey, everybody, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all." That was just a great scene. Or like Rocket trying to convince Groot, the baby Groot, not to press the button that's gonna kill everybody. You know, those are really good scenes. You know what I'm saying? It's a good ass movie. This list is trash though, but
it's absolute trash.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right. Well, we all agree on that. So fuck Newsweek in your shit article about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Seriously.
Let's see what the next one is. This shit is all out of order.
It's all right. I'm ready to go. You're not out of order.
There we go. Oh, this was the child detention center one that you told me about. All right.
What the hell? What's going on?
We got to do a story about child detention, and Monty puts up a picture of the garbage pail kids.
Wait, we do?
That super throwback. That is super duper duper throwback. The fucking
that was a great movie.
Pail. Look, listen. So I can call it a lot of things. A great movie is not one of them, though.
You know how I drew this line? Because they came from the Home for the Ugly, which was a child detention center. See, lines were drawn.
that graphic in this story is going to be hilarious. All right, so a Pennsylvania judge was sentenced to 28 years in a massive juvenile justice bribery scandal. This story comes from National Public Radio. So it comes from NPR. A Pennsylvania judge was sentenced to 28 years in prison in connection to a bribery scandal that roiled the state's juvenile justice system. Former Luzerne, if I'm pronouncing that right, anybody from Pennsylvania that's watching this, I apologize. You have to let me know how to phonetically say this right. Former Luzerne County Judge Mark Cavarella, I'm probably saying Chiavarella. I'm going to just call him Judge Mark. Judge Mark was convicted of taking $1 million in bribes from developers of juvenile detention centers. The judge then presided over cases that would send juveniles to those same centers. The case became known as the Kids for Cash case. All right?
Damn. All right.
The Associated Press says the Pennsylvania Supreme Court tossed out 4,000 convictions issued by Judge Mark between 2003 and 2008, saying he violated the constitutional rights of the juveniles, including the right to legal counsel and the right to intelligently enter a plea. Judge Mark, 61, was tried and convicted of racketeering charges earlier this year. His attorneys have asked for a reasonable sentence in court papers, saying that in effect he's already been punished enough in the court of public opinion. His lawyers are saying that he shouldn't be sentenced to 28 years in prison because he's already been punished enough in the court of public opinion. So the question is it fair or foul that his lawyers want to get less time for, or that his lawyers are asking for less time for him? Is that a fair request or is that a foul request?
This is really a question.
Yeah, just to recap, this judge was working with detention centers that were being built to house juveniles, and then he was found to be unjustly sentencing children so he could send them to those centers that he was getting paid from. And his lawyer says, hey, the court of public opinion has already crucified him. We don't need to give him 28 years in jail.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Is that a fair request or is that a foul request?
That's a foul as fuck request.
That's the foulest thing I've heard all fucking week.
Yeah. I agree with Animancer said it best. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
That shit is mad. Let's see what we got. High Plot, give him a point. He says Luzerne sounds like the name of a racist asshole.
It is.
Let me see. Chiro says what a piece of shit. What else? Mike says foul as fuck. Bill Portley says that is some foul. Dragon in the West says foul. Corruption. Chigro says foul. No, all caps. Lord Jamarcus says if this judge was any more foul, he'd be a fucking black hole. Ingrid Helgerson says foul. Emily says a reasonable sentence for the judge would be to put him in a pine coffin alive and buried under one of those child detention centers. Fuck, that is. Whoa. I like your style of justice. Could you imagine the first innocent person that neighbor Emily did that to? That'd be hilarious. I mean, not for the person. That would be suck ass for them, but that'd just be hilarious as hell. Yeah. It's looking like everybody in the chat is calling this foul. Thrift Store Dan calls foul. I'm trying to keep up with it, you guys. Spec says they are his lawyers. That's their job. It is their job just to ask these questions.
Yeah, Tish said the same thing. Tish earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's still, that doesn't mean it's any less ridiculous, though,
Yeah. It's just like, hey. The court of public opinion has made him feel very bad about the things that he did. You know, if he had never been caught doing fucked up shit, the news would not know it to make him feel bad about it. Therefore, he should not get 28 years.
Yeah. It just feels like such a rehearsed like lawyer line too. Like perhaps that'd be something that would be applicable to state in another type of case, but really, like you're gonna say that here?
Yeah, I actually have quite a few friends that were unjustly arrested as children for just various things, and it makes it very difficult to become a functioning adult in society because a lot of that stuff follows you around. Like, you know, when they talk about you're in school and they talk about your permanent record, you know, this is actually the thing that they're talking about. Like, I have a cousin who used to be the point guard. He used to be the point guard at University of Texas for the Longhorns, and he blew his ACL out the first game of the season, so he never actually had a chance to play. But one night he was at a party, him and his girlfriend got into an argument. They just were having words with each other. You know, two black kids at a white party, just chilling, having some fun or whatever. Somebody called the cops and said that he slapped her. Right? The cops get there. She says he never put his hands on me. He said, I never put my hands on her. But the cops in Texas still took my cousin to jail. And now him and my uncle have been working tirelessly to get that shit expunged from his record.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and that shit gets real ugly because then you have that shit on your record, and it's like it makes it hard for you to get certain jobs. It becomes a bitch. You know, especially if you didn't do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, fuck that guy. I'm calling foul. I'm calling foul on his lawyers. I know that's their job, but, you know, fuck them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right.
That's all I got to say about that. All right. And the last story.
The last story.
Oh, now
This
before
is,
you play,
before you play
the video, let me explain. Let me do, because I already know which one is last, so I'm ready for this one. Okay, so some of you may or may not be familiar with the rapper known as Lil Xan. Lil Xan is this white kid from California that's super duper tatted up, and he makes songs about drugs. I mean, his name is Lil Xan. I mean, what the fuck you think he do? So, in February last year, Lil Xan did an interview with Revolt TV where they asked him what he thought about the late rap icon Tupac. Looking uninterested in the topic, this by the way, this article is from usamash.org. I don't know what usamash.org is. You know, like maybe it's about the great mashed potatoes in the United States. You know what? That would be a dope-ass website. I would go to usamash.org on a regular basis. If I could just find cool places.
Unfortunately, I don't think it'll be that delicious.
Maybe not.
You know what, though? But it depends. I've had some very good mash in my life. You know, like I had fucking like garlic and Parmesan mash. That shit was fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? That shit was
amazing.
You know, but anyway. Yeah. But Lil Xan was interviewed by Revolt TV last year, and they asked him what he thought about Tupac Shakur. Looking uninterested in the topic, Lil Xan shrugged and said he felt like Tupac made boring music. After he did this, there was a huge backlash in the rap community. Rapper Waka Flocka was one of the first public celebrities to call him out, tweeting that Lil Xan is banned from hip-hop. Lil Xan after that said that he would continue rapping, but he would no longer do any interviews because every interview he did after that, all people asked him is, so what was that shit that you said about Tupac? At the end of March, Lil Xan performed Tupac's California Love at a concert in Pomona, California. He also said during a meet and greet at a show that the media twisted his words. I think Tupac is a legend. Now, I've seen the interview, and that is not what he said. They asked him, hey, what'd you think of Tupac? And he was like, I don't know, it's kind of boring. Period. End of sentence. That was what happened. But, you know, he said, you know, the right one, you know, the left-wing liberal media twisted his words And he said he thinks Tupac is a legend. Even after this, several Tupac fans have approached Lil Xan in public, demanding he explains why he said Tupac is boring. So, why am I talking about Lil Xan? Why am I talking about Tupac right now? Well, because a couple days ago, this thing happened. Monty, will you play that video, please?
Here it comes.
You a bitch, homie.
Hey, yo, bro.
Look at this little bitch, homie. Do something then, dog.
What the fuck you want, bro?
Hey, homie.
Get the fuck out. Get out,
Man,
nigga.
God, this motherfucker pulling a gun.
Fuck out, nigga.
Hey, y'all see this shit, right? Look at Lil Xan pulling a gun right now. Look at little
Get out.
Hey, look at this guy pulling the gun right now. Look at this motherfucker. Hey, pull that shit out again, homie. Hey, homie, you a bitch. Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Hey, look at my car. Look at my car.
Yeah. Look at your car, you little bitch.
Okay, so if you didn't get it from that video, Lil Xan was approached at a gas station by, he was approached by someone who I guess is a Tupac fan that wanted to ask him about the shit that he said about Tupac. Lil Xan responded by brandishing a pistol and being like, yeah, man, you better get the fuck out of my face. Now, if this happened in California, where I think it happened, Lil Xan may have committed a crime because I don't think you're allowed to brandish weapons in public in the state of California unless you feel threatened and you have to have a permit to carry that weapon. So whether or not he committed a crime is being pursued at this point. The question is it fair or foul that Lil Xan pulled out a pistol to deal with this person that came up to him? What do you guys think?
I want to just go right in and say foul that he pulled out a pistol. Why? Mm-hmm. But what was on the other side of the camera? I doubt the other guy had any weapon or seemed threatening at all. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with foul from the pull out the pistol. Now that I think about it, this is Lil Xan. So never foul.
Animancer, what do you think? It's everybody in the chat too. Like drop your opinions. You saw the video. I gave you guys the backstory. You think this was fair? Was this action that he pulled, was this fair or was this foul?
I think this guy should have known what he was doing, insulting a fucking legend like that. I mean, people are gonna have a fucking thing or two to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't need to pull a fucking gun on them.
Yeah. Don't insult a legend like Lil Xan.
Oh my God! No, you take that back. You take that back right
now. That's funny. That's funny as shit. Adam E in the chat says we should send him to a youth detention center. Where's Judge Mark when you need it, right? Let's see. Chigro says, let's get that like number up. Everybody is about to break 40. Let's get it tossed up to 50. Damn right. Shout out to, give Chigro like an extra plunger point for that. I appreciate it.
And if y'all are watching, share this shit. This show is fucking awesome. We're almost at important shit. Or check this shit out. Important shit. Yeah.
Lord Jamarcus says, I don't even listen to much rap, but I can already tell this kid is about to fuck up. Yeah. He just and I haven't heard a lot of Lil Xan music. E. Green was the person that put me up on Lil Xan. I didn't know who he was, and then a year or two ago, I was at E's house, and he showed me like a mini documentary about this dude, and I was just completely enthralled with him. He is just he's an amazing character. I can't speak to his acumen as a rapper, but he's definitely entertaining. Let's see. He pulled a gun on someone. Yes, Lizard Wizard. He did. Also, shout out to your name being Lizard Wizard. I love the alliteration and the rhyming. Yeah. That your name is bars. Your name is bars. Adam E says, was that the same one where he went to the hospital for Cheetos? Yes. Lil Xan is the rapper that went to the hospital behind the Cheetos. That was him.
Too many flaming hot Cheetos.
Yes, and it went to the hospital behind that. Let's see, Lil Xan just be way too fucked up on them bars. That should make you G-tarded. Damn it, Mike, you fucking tricked me into reading the fucking...
Yeah, dude, he slipped that one in. Holy shit.
Give Mike a plunger point for that, Zoe. That was a good one.
I'm seeing a lot of people call foul on this one.
Yeah.
But and a lot of people call him foul. A lot of people call him a pussy. And I'm not going to say that I completely disagree with anybody else. However, I think I might be on the opposite side of this one because at the end of the day, he doesn't know if that dude running up on him is trying to rob him or not, so he pulls out the gun to protect himself. So I don't know. I'm not as quick to just hit him with the foul on this one because I'm not sure because I'm only seeing the video from one angle, and the angle that I'm seeing it from, it's hard for me to like. All we see from the framework is this guy runs up on Lil Xan at a gas station, and he starts asking him about Tupac, and then Lil Xan pulls out a gun. So, how threatening was it? Like, I guess if you have a gun, when's the right time to pull it out? Like, at what point do you be like, all right, I feel threatened, I need to do something about that? And then feeling threatened, that's a whole other thing entirely because you can feel threatened even if you're not threatened. Yeah, it's a very subjective. I'm a call foul, but I'm not entirely sure. Oh yeah, John Smiko says it's foul. His action made him like a bitch. Throw hands. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, throw hands.
Yeah. That's right. That's like Craig's dad said.
Yeah, throw them hands up. So yeah, I'm calling foul, but I'm calling light foul, like diet foul. You know what I'm saying? All like, because then first off, we don't even know if the gun was loaded. You know what I'm saying? He might have just was trying to scare him. Of course, if that dude would have pulled out an actual gun, if Lil Xan would have pulled out like an unloaded gun, and then the guy responded by pulling out. So if Lil Xan pulls out a pistol, right? And then you respond by feeling threatened because he pulled out a pistol, and then you pull out your own weapon and then shoot him. Who's at fault in that situation? I don't know California law that well. Does anybody know?
I don't know. But I got to give Lil Xan props for not having his finger on the trigger when he pulled it out. So, yeah. At least he did that right.
Xan also dropped the N-bomb in that video. You know what I'm saying? he dropped the N-bomb and then started talking about how much money he had. So that's weird.
That's a minus.
Yeah. He definitely did. Lil Xan definitely gets negative plunger points for that. So. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got for fair foul today.
All right. So let's move on to this in Animancer. With Animancer, this should actually go as it usually does and be the shortest segment of the shit show ever. I love when the intro is longer than this segment. Let's see if it happens this time or if we end up caring about some of this shit. Let's talk about some shit we don't care about.
Now, in a desperate attempt to fill 24 hours of programming, here's some bullshit that happened. We've got some footage here of the bullshit, which began just after 3 o'clock this afternoon.
That's bullshit.
This is bullshit.
This is bullshit. You know what? This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you. That's bullshit, Gary! Okay, music stops.
Send the beat, fucking with you. Yep. Little stupid ass, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a.
I don't give a fuck.
I would love to go to a child's talent show and see a child do I Don't Fuck With You from Big Sean. Like, just the full, unedited. Like, could you imagine? Like, you know how people, like, with kids always be like, oh, look at my kid do this thing. And you just got to sit there and pretend to be interested in it. Just could you imagine if you were at, like, a kid's talent show or, like, a school performance or whatever, and a kid just broke out into doing, like, damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Or, I want to fuck you like an animal from 9 Inch Nails. You know how awesome that would be? That would be the greatest talent show ever.
Oh, that would be badass. I'd be all about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was my entire fucking middle school experience, to be honest.
I should have gone to your middle school. Fuck.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hannibal, do you want to tell everybody how, or I'm assuming all the shitheads, I see familiar people. For those of you that are just lurking and watching, checking us out for the first time, deciding if you want to be a shithead, Hannibal will tell you how this works. Yes. Animancer. Hannibal will tell you how it works.
Yeah, so the way Shit We Don't Care About works is just like with Fair File, every day I do a deep dive on the news and I come across these stories. But unlike Fair File, where I try to figure out if they got the outcome right or wrong, with these stories, I wonder every now and then when I come across these stories, I'm like, who gives a shit about these stories? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a headline, and you guys let me know if you give a shit or if you don't give a shit. If enough of you give a shit, I will read the story. If nobody gives a shit, then I just go on to the next story. All right? And that's how it goes.
All right. There we go. All right.
All right. So here we go. I'm going to read the first article. The first article comes from Elle Magazine.
Uh-oh.
Right? It comes from L.com. Kate Middleton went out in a Daenerys-like braided hairstyle.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either.
I didn't finish reading the story yet.
Yeah,
I didn't.
I already don't
the,
care. You said Kate Middleton, Kate Upton. Which one? I don't care. I really
Yeah. No, I don't care.
Oh, Kate Middleton is the. Oh, I thought Kate Upton. Is the one with the titties?
Wait, there's a difference. Wait, there's a difference.
Yeah. One of them's like got. Yeah, one of them's got big titties, and the other one is like a princess or something, right? But the princess is not the one with the big titties. So,
Okay, well, good to know.
No, I don't care about this story.
I don't care. I cared more about what you just said than I cared about the headline. So.
Okay, well, let me see. Check. Nope, don't care. Nope. All right.
The Batman said care. He always does.
Man. Someone's got to care, right?
Yeah. He's fucking with us.
Yeah, somebody's got to care. All right, not me. Not today. Not today.
All right. What's next?
The next one comes from people.com. Christy Brinkley, 65, brings the heat in new bikini photos. She says she's just soaking it in.
No, I don't. No.
What? No, I don't even know who that is, man. I don't care.
Christy Brinkley was a model a very long time. Ask your dad or your granddad who Christy Brinkley is, right? That's who it is.
All right, I'll call him up right now. I'll be like, hey, do you know who Christy Brinkley is?
He's gonna hit you with the back in my day. He's gonna hit you with back in my day.
Oh God, yeah, I'll probably throw in some dad jokes too.
Do you know who Christy Brinkley is, Zoe? Zoe doesn't know either. All right.
Okay, the next story comes from People. It says Cheryl Burke and Matthew Lawrence's stunning first wedding photo.
No.
I don't care about weddings.
I don't know who Cheryl Burke and Matthew Lawrence is. Matthew Lawrence, was he on Blossom? Was he Joey from Blossom?
I don't know.
No, his name was Joey Lawrence, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
I don't know who Matthew Lawrence is.
I don't understand the obsession with like talking about weddings and coverage of that shit. Like people in the UK, they go fucking crazy for it when one of those royals gets fucking hitched. There's non-stop coverage for weeks and weeks on end on BBC and shit.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I've talked to a lot of people that live in the UK and that live in Europe, and they don't go crazy for that shit. They just they put that shit on the news like anybody cares, and we don't give a shit. And I think there's like a percentage of the population that cares, but there's a larger percentage that doesn't care at all. They're just like we don't give a shit about this. Like if 35 million people in London, it's like 2 million people that care, and it's like 33 million people. It's like, so I'm just gonna watch some Game of Thrones rerun.
No one should care. I hope eventually no one fucking cares like it should be.
Well, one of these days, maybe some will. The next story comes from this one comes from CNN. Okay, so it's
all right.
It's real news.
Oh, all right, here we go. Oh,
okay, here we go. Adam Levine is leaving The Voice.
No, Hannibal, no.
Man, I just want to say no after you said fucking Adam Levine, honestly. Because
you could have.
So listen, I've never seen one episode of The Voice, but maybe people would be very sad.
We are going to be watching The Voice tonight, actually, but I'll have plenty of drinks in me. I like watching the people watch The Voice, so.
Yeah, you're getting 2 no's out of me. One for Adam Levine and one for the fucking voice, dude. They both deserve their own reputation.
So you got 2 no's on that one. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the last story comes from lifestyle.com. I'm trying to read it fast.
Now, but
let me read it first before you shit on it. All right, this might be good. This might be.
Oh yeah, sure it will be.
Listen, Caitlyn Jenner steps out on the red carpet with Sophia Hutchins.
No.
Sophia Hutchins.
I don't know.
I don't care then. And I don't care.
Hold on, let me see. No, I was about to say, she's.
I'm trying to think of ways that could have been worded that I would have cared. Caitlyn Jenner steps out on the red carpet with Ja Rule. What? Wait, why? So, but no.
Yeah, someone I don't care about or even neither of us know about, then
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. No, don't care. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that concludes shit we don't care about today. So now that we've covered all the shit we don't care about, Monty, maybe you have some important shit that the people do care about.
I do indeed have.
Give up.
FlyingZombies.com, Blog Talk Radio, and Team MFN proudly present Hannibal and Monty's Action News with L. Damon on sports, Keith, the man on the street, meteorologist scientist Mel on weather, and Hannibal and Monty's Action News anchors, Hannibal and Monty. And now, here's lead anchor Monty with Monty's important shit. Finally!
Yes, there we go. All right. So it's that time again, shitheads. We have reached the tail end of the shit show where I get into some important shit. Not shit we don't care about, not all the other shit that you see on the news, but the actual important shit. So let's just move right into the first fucking story, which Kingdom Hearts news again. Like E3's happening, all kinds of cool shit's going on. The trailer for the new DLC just dropped, which looks fucking awesome. And if you haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3, there aren't any spoilers in this. So there are only spoilers if you know what you're looking at. This shit looks badass. I won't go into detail in case some of y'all want to play it, but I will say some of the cool shit that I see in this are the playable characters. There's a playable Riku and playable Roxas and Aqua. So that's the only stuff, and there are mild spoilers in that. Sorry about that. But this shit looks badass. It's set to release in winter. So I don't know, Animancer, I don't know if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, but I am. I know Hannibal is.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I love fucking Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
This shit looks badass. I can't wait. And rather than me, or I still have to buy a whole nother fucking game. Fuck you, Square. You tricked me into thinking I wasn't buying anything. I gotta pay for this. This is gonna cost money.
Motherfuckers, dude.
Yeah, this is gonna cost money. This ain't free. They're not gonna be like, just because you bought the game, here's a free DLC.
This could have been on the scam episode. This would have been a suitable topic for that.
This would have. We could do a whole episode about just the shittiness of downloadable content. Not that like sometimes it's just not good content for the extra money that you end up paying, and the fact that they take a video game and break it up into 7 pieces that you have to buy individually. So it's like you buy the first game for like $50-$60, then you got to buy each other piece for like $20.
Just so like 2 years later they can put out like a Game of the Year edition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And try to package it all together for the actual price it should have been when it launched. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bullshit. But I will buy this, just like I bought all the DLC for the Spider-Man game. I have all that. I will own this, so I'm excited about it. I enjoy Kingdom Hearts.
I feel like the Spider-Man game had decent value for the money, at least so far for the DLC. We'll see.
Yeah.
Now, Monty, can I tell people about the new thing you're doing with this segment?
Oh, yeah. Starting Wednesday, we'll be doing this.
Oh, so we're not gonna do it tonight?
No, we're not gonna do it tonight. I left that other story out. I'm gonna throw it in when Pimp's on. So,
Gotcha.
but you can tell them what we're gonna do.
All right. So on Wednesday, what we're gonna do. Monty and I talked about this today. It's fucking great. What Monty and I, what we're gonna do is when Monty does Monty's important shit, he'll give you guys a series of stories. But one of the stories is gonna be complete bullshit. All right. So you guys can win plunger points if you can spot the fake news story in Monty's important shit when he does it. And then you'll be able to do exclamation point fake news.
I like that.
And then you put the story that you think is the fake story, and if you get it, you will get, what did we decide on, 25 or 50 plunger
25
points?
plunger points for everybody that guesses it. And I will not say who got it until I get to the end of all of it. Even Hannibal and the guests won't know which one is fake.
Yeah, we won't know. So Monty never knows my fair files of shit we don't care about prior to the show. And he doesn't know my What's Eating Hannibal, and you guys aren't, and I won't know what Monty's important shit is. So if you get it right, you get 25 plunger points if you can figure out which story is the fake story in the batch.
Yeah.
Also, Crimson 60620 said that he just beat Kingdom Hearts 3 and that Square is doing. That's what Square is doing for Final Fantasy VII remake, which I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for that fucking remake forever, and the idea now that they're gonna break it up into like an 18-piece DLC content, it pisses me off. But fucking you guys own all the keys to the castle, so
if they're like $3.99 a piece, I'll pay it. That's fair. Keep them reasonable, but if there's like $20 and $30 bits, then fuck y'all.
We could do a whole episode on the worst downloadable content that's available for video games, or like the worst. What's the worst amount of money you ever spent on some DLC and you got it and was like, this is bullshit.
I can tell you the most amount of money that you could possibly spend for DLC on a game. On Steam, you guys have probably heard of this before.
Yes.
There's like a train simulator. It's some fucking crazy amount, like over like $10,000 in DLC combined all together if you were to buy it. And in fact, I think that's being generous. I think it's closer to like 30,000.
Wow.
Oh my God, I'm looking this up on Bing right now.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Bing.
Yeah, Bing, dude. Holy shit. What is this? Desperate times? Are really?
I just got my computer everything got wiped and reinstalled on it. So I don't have Google Chrome on here yet. I'm using Bing. So
Bill Gates is fucking chilling his web service on you guys.
Yeah, it's trash. And look, I tried living with Bing for months, and after doing it for months, I can definitely say it is not the superior search engine.
Yeah.
There are cool things that it could do that I would like to see integrated into Google Chrome, and Firefox, but like by and large, it is just not the move.
Well, here's the thing too. Like I noticed something really interesting. Like eventually I started hearing people say like, yeah, if you use Bing, then they'll give you like reward points just for using their service and everything. And I'm like, isn't that the sign of like a failed service when a big corporation is essentially trying to fucking bribe you into using them over their alternative? I mean, come on. It kind of shows that there's something faulty with fucking Bing compared to Google. If no one's fucking using it and they feel the need to fucking push those types of rewards on you. I don't know.
That's how you know it's bullshit. But also, I glanced over and misread what Lord Jamarcus said. He said, sad times it is. Dead or Alive. This is what I read when I glanced over. Dead or Alive has like $1,000 of dick skins.
DLC skins.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of schmucks, right? So if you guys didn't know that, when the Jewish people be like, oh, you schmuck, like the schmuck is like when they circumcise you and the piece that comes off, they call that the schmuck. So yeah.
Okay, I could have gone my entire life without knowing.
All right. You know what, Hannibal? Next fucking story. Check this, or not check this shit out, but watch this. Watch this clip here.
Do you think you can ditch your smartphone for a week? It could win you $1,000. Frontier Communications just launched its Flip Phone Challenge. To enter, participants have to submit a message about why they're the perfect person for the social experiment. They'll have to use a flip phone for the week, but will receive a map, pocket, pocket phone book, and 90s-era CDs. Submissions are accepted until July 1st.
Okay.
For information on the contest, head to our website, cbsnewyork.com.
I call fake news on this story, Monty. I think this is the fake one.
You know, I'm always really weirded out by that term, social experiment, especially if it's being used on me. I don't know, man. It kind of gives me the fucking creeps, dude. I don't know if I'd sign up for that shit. I don't know if I want to be treated like a fucking lab rat, man. In return for some fucking 90s DVDs and CDs? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes. And a flip phone. Do you get to keep the flip phone is what I was wondering.
Dude, what a fucking steal, dude. It's like I'm scamming them.
It's like I just want you to know, Animancer, that was some grade A sarcasm right there. I like that.
Thank you.
Like that was like Mallory Archer level good right there. So feel good.
Like I think Animancer is in the running to be nominated for best shit show guest. I'm enjoying you on the show. This is awesome.
Shit, hell yeah.
So wait for the golden turds. We'll have to weigh it all out, and see who ends up being there. But I'm enjoying this. But yeah, so y'all wouldn't try to win the $1,000 and switch to a flip phone?
No, never. I could not, especially me, I couldn't do that considering the type of job I have. But even if I didn't, I'd be like, fuck that shit. No.
All right. Yeah, and just like back in the day when you would have to text somebody on one of those phones, you would have to when text messaging was first invented, you would have to cycle through the word to type. So if you wanted to type, like that's okay, I'll see you later, you would have to type like the number 7 like 3 times until you got to the letter T, and then the number 5 like 3 times to get to the letter H, and you'd have to do this every time. And there was still people then that preferred texting to calling.
Dude, I remember when fucking cell phones were still stone tablets, dude. That was fucking crazy.
They were called Nokias. They were called Nokias.
Yeah.
Those stone tablets
they still put those out today for some reason.
Yeah, they're still Nokia. Like Nokia was still putting out phones up until recent. I think they're still making Nokias, unfortunately.
I think so.
Yeah, unfortunately, dude.
That's the thing. So who would do this? Like in the chat, I'm curious. For $1,000, no cell phone for a week, and all you have is a flip phone. How many of you guys would take that challenge?
Yeah, and also Lord Jamarcus says the Cowardly browser is all he uses. Loves how it doesn't even connect to the internet, so no one can steal his credit card. True.
That is the point of the Cowardly browser. That's absolutely it.
Yeah, use your Cowardly browser and save those muskrats. So,
Ooh, you know what?
Give them away.
John Smiko, give him a plunger point because he says he could do it if he could get some early 90s Bone Thugs, he'd be set. He said that or Metallica, Justice for All. You know what? You get 2 plunger points because those are both great references. Like, Creeping on the Come Up, East 1999, and Justice for All. Yeah, that would be a good, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Matter of fact, I'm about to download those albums right now while we're on the show. On Tidal, I'm downloading it on Tidal, so they get their money.
All right.
Actually, I don't know how artists get paid when you download it to the platform. I'm gonna have to figure that out one day. But one fight at a time. Monty, what else you got for us?
All right. So the next one, this one's fun. Like I got to pull this up because there's lots of little twists and turns. And if you got questions, I got all the information here. I'm not gonna go into everything, but this one. I was telling Hannibal when I'm looking up stuff or looking through my newsreader, there's always shit about Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Black Panther, and Eminem. I gotta go adjust my search terms or something. That's all I see. But I ran into this story about a former Wiley College professor in Marshall, Texas. He's filing a copyright infringement lawsuit against Netflix and Marvel Entertainment, Viacom, and Walt Disney Inc. And he is claiming that the companies conspired together, infringing his script entitled Batman, Black Man, for the publishing, distribution, and broadcast of the film production on Marvel's Black Panther. So he and I'm trying to find the other details here. He basically said that he sent this script idea to Netflix, and Netflix somehow shared it with Marvel, and Marvel copied his movie to make Black Panther. So
But there was already a Black Panther character that existed in the comic books. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Wait. He's saying that he wrote a script. Wait, what? One more time.
He wrote a script called Batman Black Man. And Detail says he gave a timeline of the lawsuit, and he says that where is it? Oh, he believes, or he sent his script to an actor who was tapped to star in Black Panther, which is why Marvel became the defendant in the lawsuit. Whitehead believes that Marvel became privy to his script through its dealings with the actor. So
here's what I don't fucking understand about that. Like more than even about the fucking title character, like that movie was a movie about fucking Wakanda.
Yes.
You know, it's not like you could just switch the setting to fucking Gotham City and instantly have it make sense. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and the shit gets better. This dude's fucking nuts. So the plaintiff believes and asserts defendant. Wait, that's the wrong one. I'm reading the wrong thing. Where's the part I was looking for? So apparently, I'll sum up what I read. He has filed over 100 different lawsuits like this, and they've all been thrown out. But he thinks there's this big conspiracy with all these judges. There it is. It says over 100 judges or more ruled against me. This is what he said. Over 100 judges or more ruled against me, having conflicts of interest, with most having I don't know.
Okay.
Because they're stockholders in some company that is work. He's done his digging on them and found that they are somehow connected through stock or something else. So they can't rule on the case, which is why they throw it out. But that's not why they throw it out. They throw it out because he also submits thousands and thousands of scripts that get fucking rejected just so that he can do shit like this.
But if he took the time, instead of just writing a bunch of shit scripts, if he just took that time and wrote one good one, then he wouldn't have to do all of this.
Yeah. And I don't know. And the last thing he said on this, because he just put in his third amendment to the suit on June 5th, and he added dozens of other companies, including CBS, Comcast, Sony Home Entertainment, Lionsgate, and that's all it lists.
See, this is where he's fucking up. He needs to be trying to get this shit from like Trimark Pictures. You know what I'm saying? He needs to go like really, really low and then start there. Like whoever makes the Sharknadoes movies or like Mosquito Man or like the Chupacabra movie, all of those sci-fi original picture movies, he should go there and be like, hey, I came up with Mega Octopus versus Giant Shark. Okay, that was my idea. I came up with that. Y'all should give me $50.
Yeah, $50. Yes.
You know.
Yeah, start small.
Yeah,
I get it.
Aim low.
Yeah, get your 50 first.
Yeah.
And then maybe try 100 next time. And the final thing he said on all this is he says, I think this is an important story for all people, all artists, even people who go into the court systems and legal systems, because he thinks he's doing us a service. So by exposing this conspiracy against, stealing people's work.
Oh man, what a fucking culture warrior, man! Going out there and fighting the good fight.
I
know. Can I give Animancer plunger points while he's on the show? Can I do that?
Yeah, I mean you can. Write it down, Zoe. How many are you giving?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to answer. Mike in the chat asked me because I made a comment about Metallica. He says, "What about Megadeth? Peace sells." But who's buying though? I'm a fan of Megadeth. I've only had one Megadeth album in my life, and it was whatever album had Cemetery Gates on it. I don't remember the name of the album right now. Wait, was that Megadeth or was that Pantera? No, that was Megadeth. Cemetery Gates? Oh shit, I don't know. Also, I'm a big fan of I'm
sorry. Hypothesis just said, "Okay, I'm back. My computer lost power, or should I say, energy." Energy.
Wait, what?
No.
No.
Let's take 10 steps back, all right? Let's take 10 steps back.
No.
You know what? I didn't hear that. I didn't hear it. I don't know about you, Hannibal. I didn't hear that.
Right.
I don't
well,
know.
Since you didn't hear it, we'll go into the next one, which is
and I apologize, Mike. Cemetery Gates, you're right, is Pantera. It's not it's not what's called. What's my Megadeth song? Hold on. I see now you got me fucked up because I'm thinking about it. Go to the next story while I look this shit up.
Well, it's going right now. And this is Bushwick Bill from the Ghetto Boys passed away today. And it was, I think it was pancreatic cancer. Is that what it was?
I think so. Yeah, pancreatic cancer.
Yeah, and it's kind of a sad day. I had to find this clip today, and I spent the early part of the day listening back to My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me, and I forgot how fucking much I love this song and how Bushwick Bill was one of my favorite parts of this song. Just watching this tiny dude run up and sneak people on Halloween. There he is punching the ground. And he had probably the darkest story in this entire fucking song. And it was, I think by the time he was a regular member, he started out as what was he? I have it written right here. Who was it? It was Sire Jukebox and Sir Raps-A-Lot was the original Ghetto Boys. Mm-hmm. And he was Little Billy, the guy that danced for him. And eventually Scarface and Willie D joined. Then it became Scarface, Willie D, and Bushwick Bill. Yeah. And they even had that thing where he tried to shoot himself or whatever happened with the gunshot. I don't know the story. But where they were in the hospital and had to do the photo shoot for the album. So they posed for the album in the hospital with Bushwick Bill all fucking wrapped up. Ghetto Boys were the shit. Didn't give a fuck. They were hardcore as fuck. So, in honor of Bushwick Bill, I didn't know anything about Bushwick Bill beyond My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me and the Ghetto Boys. But you will be missed, dude. You were a part of my childhood. So.
Yeah, I actually, and I've told the Bushwick Bill story, but I met him a few years ago. I'm saying a few years ago. That's probably 10 years ago now that I think about it. I met him at a beat battle here in Atlanta, and I think that might have been the battle against Dirty Rice. It's one of the greatest battles that nobody's ever seen because it was only 50 people in that building that night. But me and Dirty Rice put on a great-ass beat battle. Dirty Rice is one of the... So the Mount Rushmore of beat battle producers is myself, Drugs, Dirty Rice, and Jay Skills. The four of us are the Mount Rushmore of beat battles. And after that battle, Bushwick Bill was there with two bad bitches. And he came up to me and was like, yo, man, I'm feeling your beast, man. You got some hot shit. He gave me his number. I gave him mine. And then every year, at least once a year, I would get a call from Bushwick Bill. And the call would always be the same way. He'd be like, hey, man, I got your number in my phone, but I don't know who this is. And I would say, this is Hannibal the Beat Animal. I'm the guy that makes beats. I wear a mask and perform. And he was like, oh, yeah, what's going on with you, man? Yeah, you got some hot beats. Then he would proceed to give me advice on the industry, and then that would be the end of the call. Every year for a decade, I would get a call once a year from Bushwick Bill asking me who I was, and then he would give me advice on the music industry. Yep, that's awesome. A real thing that happened. I'm positive I still have his number now. I don't want to put his information out there, but yeah, I still got his information. So rest in peace, Bushwick Bill. He was a good guy. And for me being in the music industry, people don't tell you stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? People don't say hey, do this, don't do that. They will just very comfortably let you just go in the wrong direction and just fuck up your life. Not Bushwick Bill, though. He would just be like, yeah, so they're going to tell you to do this, don't do that shit. They're going to tell you to sign this, don't sign it. And then he gave me the backstory. He told me a bunch of times he got fucked over in the industry and different things that he's been able to do to avoid that shit. So I appreciated him calling. And he would, every year, like clockwork, he would call me and be like, yeah, I got your number saved. I don't know who this is. And whenever he would call, it would pop up Bushwick Bill from the Ghetto Boys. It'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Of all the rapping midgets out there, he was number one.
There you go. There you go. Rest in peace, Bushwick Bill. You will be missed.
Yeah.
Especially by Hannibal's phone. Like the shit show will miss you. Hannibal's phone will miss you.
Yeah.
So I'm about to go into. We're almost at the end of this. I got to check this shit out for you, and I'll set it up beforehand. And this, I'm gonna throw a link to this dude down at the bottom because the shit's awesome.
Wait, real quick, I gotta say this egret in downtown New York, and then Lord Jamarcus said that was just Neo rescuing Morpheus. That's great stuff. That's
nice.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's awesome.
Well played.
Give Lord Jamarcus Lord, and his name is Lord Magicus. I gotta stop calling him Lord Jamarcus.
It's happened now. He is forever Lord Jamarcus when he's on the shit show.
Yeah, not only that, he's asked me to credit him as Lord Jamarcus in like the DP like end card and everything, so it's sticking. He's Lord Jamarcus now.
Oh, that's funny.
That's so great. But yeah, let's go into the next one. Here's a few tips on check this shit out. Hannibal and Monty's Shit Show presents.
Check that shit out. What is that?
I didn't know they made them like that.
I don't even understand what I'm seeing.
Remember that shit I gave you last week, nigga? It's nothing, nigga. It's nothing. It's nothing, nigga. Nigga, it's nothing. This shit right here, nigga. This shit right here, nigga. Right here. This shit, nigga. This shit here, nigga.
Check this shit out.
Name is Chris the Chronic Gunner like, nigga.
What's up, old ass nigga? Come on! Come on, old ass nigga! I'm finna D1 this nigga the fuck!
Holy
I swear to God, what's up?
Pause the camera right there. Rewind the video. Are those high top black forces? This nigga is crazy. You fucked up. Niggas do not wear high top forces anymore. So besides the fact that this nigga was just hitting himself, which is already a clear sign of craziness, his appearance is outdated. Most niggas with outdated appearances tend to fight harder with a win-loss ratio of 10-1. I repeat, do not fight a nigga with an outdated appearance. Please move the camera up. I knew it. His hair has not been cut, and he clearly does not care. This nigga has nothing to lose. Avoid these type of niggas at all costs, because a nigga with nothing to lose is the worst kind of nigga. Let's take another look at his clothing. That is LRG. You've pretty much lost this fight. Niggas with LRG, South Pole, Echo, etc. will literally fight harder in any setting.
Come on, old ass nigga, you know what? Get you one! Get you one, come on! I like that shit! I like that shit, come on!
Did he just laugh at a punch from you? This fight is over. Anytime a person claps during a fight or tells you to get you one, it's safe to assume that the nigga is crazy. He's gonna be extremely hard to knock out during the fight. One last word of advice, don't fall. He probably will not stop stomping you. That's another 3 signs tutorial. See you next time.
There you go. There you go. I'm putting a link to this guy's channel in the description. He's fucking hilarious. And that was perfect for check this shit out.
Where's the lie though? Find the lie in there.
Yeah.
Like where was the inaccurate information? He said, did this dude just get punched in the face and start clapping? So yeah, you should not fight this dude. He said, don't fight a dude wearing LRG, Echo, or South Pole. He said, he don't give a fuck about his appearance. He don't give a fuck about anything.
Three signs you're about to fight a crazy nigga. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yes, yeah, that motherfucker crazy. Goddamn, don't fight him.
Yeah, you can also flip that. For those of us like me that aren't very good at fighting, all I gotta do is do this shit. People will leave me alone. So, That's all I gotta do.
All right, yeah. Don't fight. You know what though? I'll take my chances though. I feel like see. So first off, I would try to get him on the ground first. So I would try like a ground and pound strategy. I would try to close the difference first.
Holy shit!
Try to see if I can get him over under hook, and then if I can take him down.
All figured out.
Yeah. No, I would try to use like something like a Superman punch or like something even like a jump kick, like just to kind of back him up and close the distance. And then once I can get the distance closed, I would try to go for an over underhook, like try to overhook with the left, underhook with the right, so I could either hit him with a judo toss, on the left side, or I could try to knee him in the face on the right. And if I can get him down on the ground, then I feel like I could knock his crazy ass the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? But if he got me on the ground, this is a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? Or, like, say I get him on the ground, but he can flip my mount position, or he can he can get like a dominant position. Then it's a whole different fight. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'd take my chances.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I'd run. So.
Yeah. I ain't taking any fucking chances.
Yeah.
Not with a guy that's doing that type of shit, man.
Yeah. Like the minute the pointing to the chin and go ahead and get you one, like, nah, I'm done. I'm good. So would you take that shot? Would you get you one, Hannibal?
Well, let me be honest. Would you fuck with a peacock that has its feathers all fucking spread out? That fucking shit looks scary, dude. I wouldn't fuck with those.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? First off, I'm not gonna fight a peacock, but I've never had peacock before, so it might be delicious. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it could be delicious. But...
I'm just saying, Animancer, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Hey, but you've never eaten an ostrich before. Would you fuck with one of those motherfuckers, dude? Those things got big fucking huge ass legs, man.
Are we talking about like hand-to-hand combat with an ostrich? No, I'm not going. Wait.
How else are you gonna fucking approach this ostrich? Are you gonna try and plan things out like Batman? If you get enough fucking prep time, you think you could take down the ostrich?
I'm just saying, sweep the leg. That's all I'm saying. It's only got two legs, man. So you can take one leg out. Like, look, have you guys ever seen the video? Me and E Green was talking about this the other day. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen the video of the dude that covers himself in deer pheromones, right? And then the deer comes up to him thinking he about to get some deer pussy, right? And instead of it being a deer, it's a dude wearing a fucking, camouflage outfit. So the deer proceeds to get up on two legs and then punch this dude in the face with his paws, with his Bambi feet, and then knocks and just runs the table on it. Wah, 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 wah. He gets like 4 unanswered punches in a row. You know what I'm saying? The hunter clearly didn't come to fight today. And it's worse is that the hunter lost the fight, and he literally brought a gun to a fist fight and still lost the fight. So, and I respect the deer in that particular situation, not because he whipped the dude's ass, but because the deer, as E Green said when we talked on the phone, the deer got catfish. He thought he was going there to get some deer pussy, and instead it was a dude. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I've never had this shit happen to me, but I've talked to friends that was like, oh, they thought he was about to get some pussy, and chick pull her pants out, bam, there's some balls. It's like, oh shit, I got catfish. Could you imagine if you was a deer and you thought you was gonna get some pussy, and you turn around and it's a dude wearing camouflage? I'd be mad as hell in that situation. But here's the thing that I always said, and I said to E Green, the whole time that deer was up on two legs, just mixing you in the face. Why you ain't sweep the leg? The nigga, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a deer on two legs, if you sweep him, you got him. That's a wrap. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to choke that deer the fuck out. And to answer somebody's question, right? Not Lizard Wizard. Was it Lizard Wizard? Somebody asked me. Yeah, Lizard Wizard asked me, did I do gi or no gi? I did no gi training because I was training and I was doing MMA training at the time. And I trained with Douglas and Diego Lima. And Douglas, who actually is a half step away from re-winning the Bellator welterweight champion, is actually the reason I don't train anymore because he broke my leg the last day I trained with him. He broke my knee, he broke my ankle, not my leg. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I did no gi training for 3 years with Rafael and Junior Sunsao, Douglas and Diego Lima here in Atlanta. Shout out to Knuckle Up Fitness, and also fuck that guy who gave us a thumbs down. Really hoping that was
fuck you, G-Man. Fuck you, G-Man.
I'm hoping that it's G-Man and Jesus is Lord and not the dude Dr. Slave that was in the chat. I'm hoping that that's not what that was. I don't think it was Dr. Slave,
Yeah.
But might have been Dr. Slave.
All right. Well, first, before we get to that, I'm going to read this G-Labs that came in. It says, does dressing 10 years outdated work for white dudes? If so, I got to act crazy next time I piss somebody off. That's from Hypothesis.
That's a good question, but I don't think so. I think this was a culture-specific video. I do believe that it's culture-specific because here's the thing. If it was, and it's specifically for African Americans, and I'm sure E Green, if he's in the chat, I'm sure he would know. But if there was an African dude that walked up on me wearing some South Pole, I wouldn't expect him to just automatically whip my ass because he was wearing South Pole. But if I expect like a black American wearing some South Pole shit, yeah, he might be nuts. You know what I'm saying? This nigga still wearing a FUBU? Oh yeah, he crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's crazy or poor, and either or, that means that he's probably very scrappy. But like I said, man, just like, look, close the distance, over underhook, you know what I'm saying? Try to get him on the ground, and then try to fight him there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta neutralize the fight. Make it work for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think.
Yeah, if I see a white person wearing clothes like decades out of date, I'll just assume that they like fucking craft beers and shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't think they're gonna come fuck with me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't automatically think that, like, although every now and then I have seen some kids in the mall that definitely look like school shooters. Like, I'd be like, man, let me go befriend him right now. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? So one, they can have a friend, and two, you know, they'll let me know whatever day they feel like rampaging.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, man. It's a double win. Fuck yeah.
It's like, Hannibal, you might not want to show up tomorrow. You got it.
Yeah.
Wow, this truly is a shit show, isn't it?
Yeah. We go everywhere, and you have survived an entire shit show, Animancer. Thank you for being here.
Hell yeah. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. I mean, damn. I'll come on whenever you guys need a fucking guest at any fucking time. That was
awesome.
Fun.
We would love to have you on again. This was awesome. Hannibal, you want to say anything else to close out?
No, actually, I was going to give the floor to Animancer to let him plug his channel. Because he allowed us to be on his, a couple days ago. So
and I'm going to throw links for all of that stuff in there. Write that on the plunger point list so I get to all that. Links to Animancer, shit, all that. I didn't get to update descriptions. Sorry, Animancer. I fucked up.
Oh, and to answer Mike real fast, he says he only wears graphic tees and basketball shorts. Is that outdated? If it is outdated, then we're outdated together, my friend. Okay?
Yeah.
Where am I? Punish it. Shirt right now. I'm not wearing basketball shorts though, but you know. I don't wear pants when we do the show.
Yeah. Animancer, go ahead and plug your shit.
I do a fucking podcast every Saturday at 3:15 p.m. Eastern. If we aren't fucking late, which we are half the fucking time, but you know, you guys can check that out. We go live on Twitch. We're on YouTube too. I'm also going to be doing shit on my own channel. Like, I'm going to be doing commentary videos and shit on the Animancer channel starting next month, so you guys can check that shit out. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for fucking tolerating my presence on this fucking show.
No, you were awesome. We enjoyed you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very fun. Like I say, if I could give out plunger points just for the funny stuff that guest said, I would give you have like 50 plunger points right now.
Holy shit. Damn. Thank you, man.
See, there you go. And that being said, also, tomorrow morning, we will be on the Morning Wood with Pimp Monk. And then the day after, Pimp Monk will be back on the shit show. So I got to clean all this shit up, wipe off that background, that overlay, and throw up a new one, and dig up some more news story. Hannibal's got to find some more fair files. We're doing a full fucking show again. So,
damn, man. Good luck.
I already got them ready. As soon as we finish the show, I'm gonna give you the fair files for that episode too.
All right, that'll work.
I got enough fair files and shit we don't care about. I have way more shit we don't care about than I have fair file.
Save it for the end of the month. But that being said, let's take us out the way that we always do. Let's let Birdman take us out. Here we go.
This was a shit show.
Y'all finished or y'all done? I ain't got no more talking.